Hi, and welcome to this live reading from Daddy's Girl, Freshwater Book 3 by Belinda Williams, and this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1. You can smile, you know. Em shot her sister an unimpressed sideways glance. That would suggest I'm enjoying myself. Besides, I've done my quota of smiling today. The whole wedding has been so romantic. I don't understand why you aren't happy right now, Anna gushed. This time, Em turned to look at her sister properly. They were both dressed in the same electric blue bridesmaid dresses, but with Anna's dark wavy hair, olive skin, and wide brown eyes, it was difficult to tell they were sisters. Their parents regularly joked that Em took after the Irish side and Anna the Greek side of the family. Their height was the only thing they had in common looks-wise. Put bluntly, they were both lacking it. And we all know that you love romance, Em told her. Anna sighed, the long-suffering variety that spoke of a heavy burden she was forced to endure. And we all know that you don't. Come on, haven't you found today even slightly romantic? Oh, don't get me wrong. Rosie and Tim are great together, and it was a beautiful wedding. If you're into that sort of thing, Em added. Anna huffed. I can't believe you've been a bridesmaid this many times, and it hasn't changed your opinion on weddings. It had changed Em's opinion of weddings, but not in a positive way, so Em chose her next words carefully. Anna was exactly the type of person who did go for this sort of thing, and this wedding was tame in comparison to what her own had been. You know, it's not my thing, even if I decided to settle down. Which you won't. Anna finished her sentence with another huff. Which I won't, Em confirmed. But if I did, I'd probably just elope somewhere. Over Mum and Dad's dead bodies. It was Em's turn to sigh. Look, you had the big Greek wedding. That should have satisfied Dad. Now you're starting a family. She gestured to Anna's cute pregnant stomach, which resembled a basketball. Fortunately, the bridesmaid gowns were loose and flowing, so Anna hadn't needed to worry about fitting into the dress. Dad's so over the moon about the baby he might actually forget about me for a change, Em finished. She could only hope, at least. Anna smiled. The smile turned into bright laughter, which morphed into a loud guffaw. Anna's eyes widened at her own outburst, and she smacked a hand over her mouth, but she didn't stop laughing. Em cracked a smile. Yes, all right, I know. I'm deluded. Anna coughed and cleared her throat, gaining control over her laughter. So deluded. But that's why we love you. You do know there's someone Dad wants you to meet tonight, don't you? Em silently contemplated her need for another drink. There's always someone Dad wants me to meet. What's new? What's new is that you're lacking your usual decoy, Anna replied, her dark eyes gleaming. Please don't remind me. I'm still very unimpressed he canceled. Em's long-term strategy of bringing unsuitable men along to family events or functions was a long-running joke in the family, as was their father's attempt to set her up at every available opportunity. What happened to man number 345 anyway? It really was very difficult to not roll her eyes at her sister sometimes, Em found. He had to work at the last minute. At least that means he has a job. That's a good start. Em leveled a stern look at her sister. He's a doctor. Anna's eyebrows shot up in surprise. Ooh, exciting. It's nice that you're finally starting to see that it's important to date someone with a similar IQ. Don't be so condescending, Em replied. Just because I'm university educated doesn't mean the men I see have to be. Em, Anna said, and a pained note crept into her voice. You're not just university educated. You're an academic who is about to complete her PhD. I don't see how going out with all those surfer dudes and backpackers you insist on hanging around with can result in any sort of interesting conversation. Em's lips tipped up at the edges. That's because we don't talk much. You are insufferable, Em grinned. But you still love me. So would a decent guy if you gave him half a chance. Em put an arm around her sister's waist gently. You know a relationship isn't important to me. I'm too busy studying, and soon I want to apply what I've learned and researched in the real world. I don't need a guy for that. Yes, but a guy might make you happy. Em tilted her head to the side, considering her sister's words. For half an hour or so, perhaps. Anna growled, a cute little growl that sounded more like a purr. You are so frustrating. She waved a hand in front of her stomach. Don't you want this? Don't you want what Mom and Dad have? Em's expression softened as she surveyed her beautiful sister. She was like an image of a Grecian fertility goddess with her wavy hair cascading over her bare shoulders and her eyes lined in dark kohl. I don't long for it the way you do. I'm so happy you found it, by the way. While Em didn't have the yearning to find a man and settle down like her little sister, she was genuinely happy that Anna had found what she wanted. Stop changing the subject, Anna said. I swear you don't let yourself look for a long-term relationship. Em shrugged. Unless one comes looking for me, I won't be searching for it. Just accept that we want different things and life should be a lot more pleasant. Anna screwed up her nose. Tell that to Dad. Any idea which eligible bachelor he has lined up for me tonight? No, I don't, and I wouldn't tell you if I did because you'd avoid him. I love you too. Oh well, it should be easy enough to spot him. Why do you say that? Anna asked. Dad has a type, you know. Anna giggled. He does, doesn't he? Yep. Private school boys that went to a reputable school, then a good university. They also smack of enough arrogance to put me off my dessert because they've had the world handed to them on a platter. You're just lucky you and Theo met during high school, and that he's Greek. That's not why I married him, and you know it. We know most of the Greek guys here tonight, so I wonder who he is. Em couldn't help but wonder as well. Many of the weddings they attended were for an extended family member. However, Rosie, the bride, was a long-term employee of their father's as well as a good friend of Em and Anna. They'd grown up in the same street, spending weekends at each other's houses. This was why both she and her sister were part of the bridal party. Em and Anna knew most of Rosie and Tim's friends, so Em couldn't think who it was. Not that it really mattered, because whoever he was sure to be her father's usual type. Oh my God, I have to go to the toilet again, Anna announced. This is crazy. Wait for the baby. Anna poked her tongue out at Em. Auntie Em will be the first person I call when I'm sleep-deprived and need a babysitter. No, that's when you call Mom. Fine, after Mom. Damn it, I've really got to go. Here. Anna shoved her glass of pregnancy-safe mineral water in Em's direction and scurried off. Em looked at the glass in her hand. If it was alcoholic, she might consider finishing it. She set it down on a nearby table and sighed. If she weren't in the bridal party, she'd have made an excuse to leave by now. Her pregnant sister would probably end up on the dance floor like most of the other guests, so Em could hardly claim tiredness. Except tired was exactly what she was. Em had spent most of the week before staying up late working on her PhD. She was so close to finishing it. She already knew the parts she needed to go back and rewrite. Lately, she often found herself doing chores like folding, washing, only to stop and realize that she was silently going through the rewrites in her head. If it weren't for this wedding, Em would have spent all weekend working. You party animal, she muttered to herself. It was definitely time for another drink, so Em turned and headed toward the bar. The irony was that she could be a party girl when the occasion called for it. When she was feeling less pressure to work, Em was the first to suggest a night out with friends. She also had no hesitation about heading to one of the bars near her apartment for a drink by herself. But tonight, Em wasn't in the mood to party. It must have been something to do with all the romance in the air. Unlike Anna, romance made Em grumpy. Don't you want what Mom and Dad have? Em increased her pace toward the bar. Damn Anna and her happily ever after fantasies. Anna didn't seem to understand that what her parents had was rare, and not everyone was cut out for long-lasting happiness. Anna was lucky that she had met her partner young, so of course she would expect that romantic happiness was achievable for everyone. As far as sisters went, they really couldn't be more different if they tried. In Anna's case, the cuteness on the outside reflected the person on the inside. Whereas Em's fair Irish looks, her gentle beauty as her mother called it, constantly got her into trouble. Em knew a lot of men found her attractive, but they soon discovered that her exterior sweetness was at odds with her strength of character. Too bold. Too honest. You look sweeter than you really are. Wow, you're not what I expected. Em snatched up a champagne flute from the bar and took a grateful sip, chasing the demons of men long gone out of her mind. Well, damn those men and their outdated ideas of what a woman should be, which also included her father. Em wasn't going to change for anyone, and if that meant remaining single for the rest of her life, then so be it.